Animals by Walt Whitman, Standard 10th, English. Let's know about the author. Walt Whitman is a major figure in the early American poetry. In an age when all poetry was rhymed and metrical, he made a break with tradition and wrote a revolutionary new kind of poetry in free verse. The poet tells us that he feels more at home with animals than humans. What he finds complicated? Students, now you answer to this. At times, especially when you are frustrated, you wish you were an animal, a bird, a fish, a butterfly, and not a human being. So which of the above you would choose to transform to? Animals by Walt Whitman. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and long at them long and long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. No, not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possession. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago? Introduction to the poem. The poem Animals is from Walt Whitman's work Song of Myself in the Leaves of Rust. In this poem, the poet Walt Whitman admires animals for being better than humans. The poet wishes to live with animals and to experience a life where no one complains and where everyone is free of sins and sorrows. Explanation. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. Here the poem says that he wants to live with animals. He says that he finds animals to be better than humans. They are so self-contained, they are so into themselves, they are so calm and peaceful and not like humans who are so aggressive with everything. He says so because animals are not running after worldly things like human beings. They are so calm. They do not have any greed. The poet further says that these are the reasons he still looks at animals for long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. One is so dissatisfied, not one is demented, the mania of owning things. Here the poet says that they never complain like humans do. They do not sit in the night and weep their tears off. They do not talk about the duty to God anytime. They just do their thing. The poet thinks that animals never irritate them by what humans do. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things, not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago, not one is respectable or unhappy, so they show their relations to me and I accept them. In this, the poem says that he has not seen any animals showing his devotion to anyone. They do not show devotion towards God like humans do. In human beings, rich people are generally given more importance and are treated with more respect as compared to the poor. They never give more or less importance or to any other animal. I wonder where they get these tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently dropped them? So at the last, the poem introspects himself and says that from where the animals got those good qualities, the qualities were found in human beings in past like innocence, kindness, and where they have all gone now. Conclusion. In the poem Animals, the poet Walt Whitman praises animals for being better than human beings. The qualities of calmness, the lack of greed, and the ability to stay happy and contained among themselves. The poet wants to live with animals and experience a life where no one complains and where they are free of sins and sorrows. The poet believes that probably a long time ago humans possessed all these qualities which they don't anymore. Thank you.